After recent unfavorable elections for the GOP, a lot of critics claim the Republican Party needs to back off causes that are important to the faith-focused voters and move closer to the middle on social issues. But the RNC is making a major push to reach out to the faith community and to reassure them that the party still supports conservative values. Joining me is the Director of Faith Engagement for the Republican National Committee, Chad Connelly. Chad, so good to have you here.
My honor. Thank you, sir.
I was very proud of Reince Priebus, the RNC chairman. I think he has done something that we have not seen in a while from the RNC, really recognizing the role that faith-based voters play. How big of the constituency of the Republican base is that?
Well, it's a big deal. Thanks for having me, Governor. I sure appreciate all you do. And look, if I didn't believe in Reince Priebus, I'd have never stepped down as party chairman in South Carolina. It's a big deal. After the election as chairman in South Carolina, I'd sent 1,400 volunteers to 8 battleground states. And I realized that the faith component was an afterthought. Then I met with my buddy George Barna. I know you know him.
Know him well.
Those
Great
big
guy.
numbers. 89 million of us, faith voters, evangelical, born again, 30.5 million voted. And 22% of them voted for a guy who is diametrically opposed to what they say they believe in.
Run that by me again, because a lot of people...
Yes.
89 million.
89 million self-identified evangelicals born again, not counting all the Catholics.
And how many
else?
And how many of them voted?
30.5 million voted. And so
Governor
Romney got, yes, 1 in 3. Governor Romney got 78% of that vote. It means 22% voted for a guy who is diametrically opposed to what they say they believe in. So a lot of us are not voting.
You know, I think sometimes we hear often, and especially from what I call the donor class, oh, let's stay away from these, issues, these social issues. We don't want to deal with that. If we stayed away from them, what happens to the 89 million voters? Do they just stay home?
Well, thankfully, that's not happening, and I think what you're seeing is a re-engagement, a recommitment. I mean, look, Reince even postponed our meeting in January. We marched in the March for Life. First time ever a National Party chairman had done that, and it was 12 degrees outside. It was, a foot of snow out there, and we postponed the meeting, and 80 members of the RNC got out there and became involved. So I think what you're seeing is a recommitment, and maybe when you lose, you got a chance to really look around and be reflective and say, what are we doing wrong? And so Reince wanted to do a back to basics, all hands on deck. This is a game of addition. We have got to win. The party has to be engaged in this.
You know, it really, I think it's important to say that we're trying to add people rather than subtract them. We're not saying that people have to be a faith-based voter.
That's right.
Have to care about some of the issues that evangelicals and Catholics care about. But don't move those folks off to the margin and say that we don't really want them. Because I'm looking back and I'm thinking, Ronald Reagan, strong pro-life. George Bush, 1988, was pro-life.
Right.
George W. Bush, strong pro-life and pro-marriage in his re-election.
Right.
They all won. It seems like when we back away, some of those voters get just not that interested, and then we lose.
Yeah, I've been telling them, I think that a lot of us are politically knowledgeable, maybe not that politically savvy, and we get discouraged easily. And any faith voter, let's face it, the Republican Party is the natural home for people of faith. And I got to tell you, as a Christian first, I don't think Christians or anybody who's serious about their faith really cares what the Republican Party or the Democrat Party says. They don't know what God says. Well, it just so happens that our vote is a testimony and our witness to the community of what we believe in. And if we're not involved, then people don't see that. And so I think what you're seeing in a big sense is our commitment to the faith vote on every level, in every segment you can name, is us saying this matters. We're not going to leave it out. We're going to pay attention to this.
Chad, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm grateful for Reince Priebus. I think he's done a very visionary job as RNC chair, and I think his selection to bring you into that role is a very significant one. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much. God bless you.